Yo, what is up, Purple Army, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm gonna be re-ranking every single vehicle in War Tycoon and letting you guys know officially for the last time which one is the best one. But anyways, without further ado, without wasting any more of your time, let's get right into this video. And let me go ahead and pull out, or let's go ahead and head to the small garage, I should say. Let's pull out the first vehicle, which is going to be the buggy. Now this vehicle can hold oil crates as well as vehicle crates, so if you're trying to steal some, this would be great. Looking at the top speed, this does reach a top speed of 50 miles per hour, and it doesn't have any sort of defenses or any sort of attack capabilities on this. It is basically just to drive around, you know, grab these oil crates, probably have a loadout, maybe shoot some people, but overall for the beginner, probably pretty decent. But moving on to the next vehicle. Alright, so I've officially arrived back at my base and pulling out the next one. We got the Land Rover, and similar to the buggy, it does carry oil barrels as well as crates. And looking at the top speed on this, it hits a top speed of 45, so it's a little bit slower, but you get some more protection obviously because it's not just a dune buggy. It is more of a covered vehicle, I should say. But moving on to the next one, we have our first one that has some sort of attack capabilities on it, which is the Cat Yashu. This one is actually kind of sick in my opinion because it contains 16 rockets, and there's a little laser each one, so you can see as you fire it, there's a laser connected to each one so you can see exactly where it's going. And let me just shoot at this guy's base to test it out and get a little bit of damage. So as you guys can see here, it packs a pretty powerful punch for how small it is. But this is probably the best vehicle from the small garage if you're looking to go out and attack somebody with the vehicle itself. The other ones are really just for, you know, getting oil crates. And the last one that I didn't rate yet is the Speedy Humvee, and that one is literally just for, I'm pretty sure it's the fastest, or one of the fastest vehicles in the game. This thing's incredibly fast, and it has insane health, but no firepower, and it doesn't hold oil barrels or crates. But that is it from the small garage, and, you know, we're moving on to the big boys, the large garage. So I don't have the Game Pass vehicles unlocked, but I have pretty much everything in here unlocked. So let's go ahead and start with the ATV. Now I think that this should be in the small garage. I don't know why this small ATV is in this large garage. Does not make a lot of sense. But this thing is actually incredibly fast for its size. But be careful not to flip over, because it is very dangerous on this thing. You might get in a crash. But overall, if you're looking to get someone's base quick with a loadout, just by yourself, it's probably the perfect car. Let's see what we got next. Humvee. Now this is the base from the Speedy Humvee. It's a lot worse. But it literally looks the same, just the other one's just black with a little bit of a nicer design, and this thing is really slow. I mean, I wouldn't even get this thing. I wouldn't drive this thing if I were you, because you're gonna get clowned on. But the next vehicle, this thing is the Gurkha MPV. It carries an M2 Browning turret as well as oil barrels and crate holder, and has a ton of seats on it and pretty good stats in my opinion. The only issue I have with this is if you don't have a friend and you're just going solo, you are gonna have to come out and physically get on top of the gunner seat to use it. So you kind of make yourself incredibly vulnerable to headshots from snipers or any gun. But yeah, I would recommend using this with a partner. And if there's other vehicles in the large garage that you can actually operate the gun without having to get out the vehicle, you can stay in it. So if you're riding solo, maybe don't use this, but if you have a teammate, then definitely pull this out. But the max speed on this is 60 miles per hour. Oh, and it looks like we got our first target here. See, this is the issue with this, boys. It's really hard to swap and find where the gunner is. Come on. Alright, here we go. And by the time I get in, he's already gone. Wow, and there's literally no zoom in. So yeah, I don't know what to say. Probably the worst vehicle from the large garage that has a turret on it, in my opinion. But we're gonna roll on to the next one, because we gotta keep it moving obviously. And this one is going to be called the JLTV. And this is the first vehicle with driver controlled weapons that I was talking about. And what's awesome about this, the statistics are incredible. It only has 4 seats, but it does have a javelin, lock-on launcher, as well as a chain gun. And you can operate both of these from the gunner seat, and it doesn't even say this, but it does have smoke as well. And the zoom on this is pretty good. You get to zoom in far out and you get to zoom in far in. Very convenient for seeing all of your enemies. The only thing is that it's kind of hard to take down aircrafts because you only have, you know, the ground rockets. You can only fire the javelin rockets. But if you're good with the if you have good aim, you know, there's a chance that you can take out something. But the max speed on this is 65 miles per hour, and let's see if we can get our first kill of this video or take out something. Because we gotta get some action in this. Alright, I guess we'll just take out this just to show the damage. Alright, here. Oh, he's coming out. I guess we got our first kill. And just like that, boys, we got our first. Please die already. He's almost dead. Let's go. First kill of the game. 137 studs. Not that impressive. I just killed a noob. But anyways, it's a kill. And, you know, we're counting it. But let's get the next vehicle out, and it looks like the sun is coming down. Sun is getting real low. If you guys know what that means, it's a Marvel reference from the Avengers. But let's go ahead and pull out the HIMARS. And honestly, I don't have a lot to say about this. Compared to the thing from the small garage, it's a lot worse in my opinion. And I did have a battle with this versus the Katyusha. And the Katyusha does win against this vehicle, which is honestly insane. And it is because it has way more rockets, and I think it's also faster. So just because it looks better and is super bulky doesn't mean it's actually going to take up and win in a fight. And the max speed on this, it looks like this thing is actually pretty slow, literally 40 miles per hour. Let me take out the Katyusha, and you guys are going to see what I'm talking about. Yeah, the acceleration I feel like is faster. Maybe, is it faster? I think it's roughly the same. But the rocket power, you get 18 rockets versus like 8. So, or you get 16 rockets versus 8. So that's like, you need to have double the firepower in my opinion. So go for the Katyusha instead of that vehicle. Definitely do that. But anyways, moving on to the next vehicle. We have one of my favorite ones, which is the M117 Guardian. I think I skipped one. But this one is pretty much just a turret gun, and it does have smoke as well. So if there is a javelin targeting you, you can get out of that. But the cool thing about this is it does follow you, so the turret does track your cursor. It does have a little bit of a latency, obviously, but it's pretty fast. So if you're taking down some enemies on the ground, yeah, you're gonna take them out easy. But versus tanks or aircrafts, you're kind of risking it. You do have that javelin support though, but you're still risking it, I would say. So definitely pull out something better, like the Pantsir. I'm gonna move on to that next. But let's take out the good old Pantsir, and this is going to be the best anti-aircraft vehicle in the entire game, in my opinion. It has 12 lock-on air missiles, as well as heavy bullets. And you can see here it has this little radar satellite for tracking those vehicles down and locking on those missiles. It's pretty long, and it does move pretty, it's a pretty normal speed. It isn't that fast, it isn't that slow, but it'll get you where you need to go. But that was kind of private. But as far as taking down aircrafts, this is probably the best thing in the game in my opinion, besides spamming the Stinger, which spamming the Stinger is probably the second best strat for taking down aircrafts, because that is so overpowered. But this is the first best strat because you can easily, you know, lock on an aircraft, use the 12 lock-ons, or even use 4 of them, psych them out, let them use all their flares, and then continue to use all of the missiles that you didn't use, as well as use this incredibly strong anti-aircraft turret. And you do have a zoom thing as well, so you get an incredibly well perspective on your enemy, and it is, in my opinion, extremely easy to shoot at them. The only issue is if they're shooting at you, it's kind of hard to defend against it, and there's nothing you can do. Especially against jets, I feel like the F-35 Lightning is probably one of the only things that can compete with this thing, because that thing is just so fast. And people who use that are able to swoop down in the air and literally just dominate you. But anything other than that, I would say it's pretty easy to take down. But enough of me rambling, let's move on to the next one. And I think we're pulling out something good. The sun is coming up. Oh yeah, we got a good one. The laser. Now this is one of the ones that is probably, you know, definitely top 3, I would say. Top 3 best vehicles in the game. Because it's just so good. It doesn't have, you know, smoke or anything. It doesn't have anything that crazy. But it does have a good speed. It does have explosive bullets, which are very powerful. And it does have rockets, which are strong as well. But there's really not much to say about this. Again, just the explosive bullets as well as the rockets. And you'd be surprised by how powerful these two can be, especially if you know how to use them right. But we're moving on to some of the last vehicles in the game. And which ones did I not review? Let's see. Did I review them all? Alright boys, I think I just have 2 more that are left. And this is the Lav AD in the Boxer CRV. I still have to unlock the Lav, and this Boxer is pay to win obviously. So I guess I'm just going to do a review using the specs that are provided here. But the Lav AD has a 25mm Gatling gun, as well as 8 rockets and 4 air-only lock-ons. So I'm assuming this is going to be extremely good against air vehicles, and this is another one of the vehicles that is meant for taking down airplanes specifically. And you can see that each one has, you know, it has its own kind of thing that it's meant for. Each vehicle has its own specific category of other vehicles that it's meant to target. You know, some are meant for anti-air, and others are meant for more ground, such as this one. But this is moving on to the last one, which is the pay to win one, and it does have the best specs in the game. Surprisingly, I've never actually reviewed this before or seen what it has, but it doesn't have any rockets. And I think that for pay to win, you think that would have rockets on there. You know, you're paying money for it, but I've never actually used it before, so maybe the cannons are extremely good and better than the rockets with the specs that are included, because you can see it has max speed, max health, and max firepower, which is just insane. I'm thinking about buying this, you know, but it's $4. Never mind. No, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna buy it. But anyways, going down the list from best to worst, we got the pay to win, which is, you know, the best one in the game. And then we have the Laser 3 APC, which is just an unstoppable force, coming in at the number 2 spot. And coming in at number 3 got the Lav AD. Now some of these rankings are so close to each other, and it was kind of hard for me to put the spots, but this is an opinionated rating again, so this is just where I think they should be at, based on my playing experience in War Tycoon. But moving on to the 4th spot, you have the M117 Guardian, and then moving into the lesser spots, which is 5th. I guess I'll just roll through them, I guess, real quick. But we have the JLTV, and then coming after that, we got the Gurkha. Then we have the Pantsir, and then I'm going to move into this one, because their ranking moves into here. We have the Katyusha next, and then the Speedy Humvee, and then let me come back, because there's more vehicles I got right here. Alright, the HIMARS is coming in next. Now, some of y'all might hate this for me, but I feel like the Speedy Humvee and the Katyusha are better than the HIMARS, because this thing is just terrible, in my opinion. And then coming in next, we got the Buggy, and then the Land Rover, and then finally, we got the ATV, and then the worst vehicle in the game, which I think is the Humvee, because the speed and health on this thing are just terrible, and it only gives you 4 seats. But let me know what you guys think of these ratings down below in the description, and if you think my opinion is right or not. I'm very curious to see what you guys think. And if you did enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe. As usual, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.